Hello and welcome to Marketing Edge on TV, Nigeria's leading initiative in the business of brand management and the management of brand business. This is a 30-minute awesome packet that comprises brand news, branding focus, and industry conversation, all in a mix encompassing thorough and in-depth analysis aimed at promoting the brand idea. I am Oluwabukola Omoni. Welcome to the program. We'll begin with brand news, where we'll bring you the latest development around brands and in the field of marketing and advertising in Nigeria and around the world. The Chief Executive Officer, Noah's Ark Communications Limited, Larry Adesa, has emerged as the 22nd president of the Association of Advertising Agencies of Nigeria, AAAN. Adesa was elected unopposed at the AAAN's 51st Annual General Meeting in Abeokuta, Ogun State on July 20, 2024. He takes over from Steve Babeko and will lead the association for the next 2 years. Adesa has been actively involved in the AAAN, serving as chairman of the Membership Committee and the Constitution Review Committee. He also led the Lagos Advertising Ideas Festival from 2020 to 2023. Adesa says his plan is to continue his predecessor's work, making the association more inclusive and representative. Ideas Origin Media has been inducted into the Association of Advertising Agencies of Nigeria, AAAN, at the 51st Annual General Meeting in Abeokuta. The event, attended by industry leaders and government representatives, marked a significant milestone for the agency. Founded in 2022 and led by Israel Obatunde as the CEO, Ideas Origin Media has quickly gained recognition for its innovative brand strategies and creative solutions. Now part of AAAN, the agency is set to expand its influence in Africa and beyond, leveraging the association's support and resources to further drive innovation in advertising. The Advertising Regulatory Council of Nigeria, ACON, has withdrawn its lawsuit against Meta Platforms Incorporated. ACON's Director General, Dr. Olalekan Fadolapo, clarified that this move is a strategic decision to reassess their approach, not a sign of intimidation. The lawsuit, filed in 2022, addressed alleged violations of Nigerian advertising codes by Meta. Due to lack of progress in the case over the past 2 years, ACAN decided to reevaluate its strategy to ensure all social media platforms comply with the law. That was brand news. Next is branding focus right after the break.
Don't worry, we'll talk later, yeah?
Buddy,
how far?
give me small spot, I beg. Make I play game, I beg.
Oh, yeah, now.
Thanks, G.
Yo, Zifa don't come out.
But they are far now. I got you.
Buddy, I beg, make I connect, I beg. I need to stream.
Enjoy 100% data bonus with Night Data. Dial *312# to enjoy.
Power your relentless ambition with ultra-high-speed data.
Glow Unlimited. Marketing Edge on TV, promoting the brand idea.
Alan Watts once said, "We seldom realize, for example, that our most private thoughts and emotions are not actually our own, for we think in terms of languages and images which we did not invent, but which were given to us by our society." The practice and principles of PR swing on the hinges of a sustained striving goodwill, sound mutual understanding, and relationships built on trust with one's consciously defined community, publics, as may be determined by the organization's core business and other forms of economic and social investment interests. As a matter of responsibility, it is important to engage in the practice with a sustained investment in the engagement of well-articulated, time-tested, strategic communication approach designed to suit the planned programs of action. For this to genuinely manifest in a manner that endures and achieves greater impact, the way of life of the people involved, spiritual or temporary, must be given a premium consideration when incubating policies and articulating action plans that would be of benefit to the organization's selected publics. Research has proven that since the creation of humankind and true human evolution, humanity at almost every point has been immersed in cultural diversity, faces, clothes, smells, attitudes, taboos, values, traditions, behaviors, beliefs, rituals, and festivals. With critical examination and references to the theme, this diversity immensely influences and impacts on everything in the ecosystem. It would be a crude act of insincerity to assume that PR as a form of human activity is immune. To succeed, one must make efforts to align aright. Therefore, a visionary organization with sincere intent should determine, define, and plan programs of action that align with the culture and tradition of the people for the purpose of the overall interest of the organization and the stakeholders.
Welcome back. Next is Industry Conversation, where we have discussions with industry thought leaders. My guest today is a bigwig in the industry. He is a former president of Media Independent Practitioners Association of Nigeria, MIPAN. Join me after the break.
I'll call you on normal now, okay?
Gotta go now.
Okay, why don't you hang up?
No, you hang up.
You're the one who's gonna eat now. You need to hang up now.
No, I dare you to hang up.
You want me to hang up?
You really need to hang up now.
No, you hang up, you hang up.
No, you hang up. I have to go.
You really want me to hang up?
Let's switch to a video call so I can see your face.
Okay, fine.
Now you can hang up. Hang up, Joe.
Make your nights memorable with Glow Night Data Bundle. Dial *312# to start. Power your relentless ambition with ultra-high-speed data. Glow Unlimited.
Marketing Edge on TV, promoting the bright idea.
Welcome back to Industry Conversation. My guest today is the founder and group CEO of Brandeye Media, Dr. FEMI ADELUSI. Glad to have you join us on the program, sir.
The pleasure is mine. Good afternoon. Good day to you.
Glad to have you, sir. Okay, so let's start with an assessment of the IMC in Nigeria. How would you describe the IMC sector in Nigeria? It's no news that there are economic challenges. Now, what would you say at this? What are the general challenges facing stakeholders, professionals in the industry? What are the opportunities? How would you describe it generally?
Thank you. My view on the industry is not too different from the way the economy is, because of course the work that we do, because we work on brands, we work on growing brands and making sure that the consumers' needs are met. So therefore, when you look at the way the industry is, it's very relatable to the state of the economy. And we all know that we're going through a challenging time from an economic standpoint. And although the numbers are looking much better than they used to be, like last year, in terms of exchange rate or so, some various economic indices. But even with that, when you listen to the man on the street in terms of what he's going through, particularly the price of goods, right? It also is a true reflection of the challenging time that we face as a country. And typically brands invest behind their brands. Marketing is a function of brand's performance, right? So the goal is for the marketing manager or the the agency to help the brands to grow. Now, for the brands to be able to grow, the consumers needs to have the disposable income, even beyond having the right products and needs, right? So the challenge, right, that we have in the sector today is highly related to the economic challenges that we have. The more the disposable income and access to cash improves, then I believe that, brands will do much, much better. Every brand wants to grow, and there's always a percentage that is tied to advertising and marketing communications. Usually, every brand manager, marketing director wants to grow his brand. But when the brands are facing serious challenges, the marketing sometimes is not priority for the brand. So that's the situation right now. But I think there are very positive indications. But there are also other non-economic challenges, right, which brands face even today as well. So I believe in the course of this conversation, we will talk a bit about this.
Great. So, let's talk about the audience measurement. I know a system. I know that you were part of the committee that was set up, to oversee and deliver that particular platform, and it wasn't officially or formally launched until recently. Now, how would you describe the impact of the audience measurement system on media buying agencies and the sector generally?
So it's a good progress. We are operated in a market that is data driven for a very long time.
Okay.
So the scientific planning or scientific marketing decision has been in practice for decades now, at least in my own time in this industry, over almost 30 years. I think we've had data over 20, 25 years. We've had marketing, we've had media data. Now, but the challenge has always been what is the quality of the data and how accessible is the data and how reliable is the data. So the journey into, or the progress into, or the migration into audience measurement is to move the available data, the quality of the data and the timing of the data in terms of availability, right, is to make it even much, much faster, to have a more robust data. So for example, we've had the TV audience measurement and radio audience measurement for over 25 years in this market, with a sample base of about 18,000. And so for those who traditionally have also believed in scientific planning, so you've also had the arms, you've got the terms and the RAMs for you to do your data analysis, and the technologies, that the tool is there also for you to do your analysis of the consumer, and what the consumer's choices or preferences are across media. Now, that data is collected and available on a quarterly basis, right? But if you look at the dynamism of the media industry and even consumer today, waiting a quarter to know how good a program or a content is, or it's a very long time. Now, what the yearning of the industry has been is a much more robust data. So the audience measurement, the audience measurement data is a much more robust. So it's about 60,000 per Nigeria database, and of course, it is more passive. The current proposal is that data will be available almost like on a 24 hours, and then with a migration to even an hourly rate within a short time of rollout. And also, this is digital. This is much more. So it's going to leverage on the fact that the consumer is now open to a plethora of media, right? So you can see real time how media is being consumed in the household. For example, let's say a household of 6, right? Even though there are 6 members in the household, the consumption pattern could also vary. What the father likes to watch might be different what the kids watch or what the mothers watch. So this audience measurement then allows you to be able to capture what each member of the household is watching. So what this then does is to enable much more robust and much more accurate pulling of data together, so that the brands in targeting or agencies in developing their strategies can be more on point. So it addresses accuracy, it addresses also timeliness of the data, and of course the much more robust data. So that's one part of that. But also for the stations now, they can appropriately price the content and the programs that they put on air. So if you can see how the audience is moving in town and how popular your programs are, then they can price the program, the content more appropriately. And this also goes to the content developers and content producers as well. So they can invest more, they can put their investment in the right content, because now they can get
tell who is watching,
they can tell who's watching, and then in terms of the revenue also is much better when they can see that their content is being watched, who is watching, and how well it is doing, right? And then of course the brands can be on the right content as well. So across the ecosystem is a win-win for the content producers, for the stations owners, for the brands, because you are more on point in terms of your targeting. And of course, for the agency, because now you have data, you have tool, you have technology that allows to do your work even much more efficiently. And you can, and then on a national basis also, this then means that the advertising and marketing industry can also thrive. Because when brands can see data that, that supports their investment, then they are encouraged to do even much more. And then this also allows us to begin to move towards how our work, right, is delivering on the bottom line. So we're, so beyond equity and growing brand love, audience measurement also is a step towards more measurable performance, right, of advertising investment, because we can then begin to see how does this tie back to purchase decisions. So if I'm targeting appropriately, right, and I can be more specific in terms of my messages, and I can then even investigate for that to see the consumption pattern. So how is this influencing what is being purchased in this household as well, and how can I change that? So with all of this, the industry is much better, and we can actually grow our ambition in terms of what our industry is contributing to the national economy.
Great. Okay, so let's look at your time as the MIPAN president. I know that you were the immediate past president of MIPAN. Now, how would you assess media planning and buying, the advertising ecosystem under your leadership?
First of all, I must appreciate and give all the honor to my team when I was president. So I think I had a very strong and very committed executive committee. And heads of agencies were also very supportive in driving the successes. I think our tenure, I think even if I say it myself, I think we raised the bar in terms of the expectations in a few areas. One is in terms of education. Our input into our initiatives in area of courses, in terms of training and development programs, also in the how we push forward the school, the media school, that's the Alphabet Media Academy, where even people with different backgrounds can now come into media and marketing communications when they go to the Alphabet Academy. Within a 12 weeks to 24 weeks, depending on whether it's a certificate or a diploma program, we can accelerate your conversion into being a professional in this industry. Wow. So there are short-term courses, 2-3 day courses. There are also this quarterly or 24 weeks long program. So I think one key area is in the area of capacity building and development. Another would be, for me, also the investment and the progress that we've seen in terms of scientific, technology-enabled media planning and buying. So I had the privilege of working with on the the task force on audience measurement, for example. And with the support of members of MIPAN and executive members and our technical committee, we made significant inputs into the development, into the progress of the audience measurement. So for me also, that, and I explained earlier on the benefit and the value of that. So that's also a very key part. So education, development, investment in technology and data that help us to do or to take scientific planning to a new level is another. I think also in terms of engaging key stakeholders in our industry, I think we made a lot of progress in that, working with the Advertising Regulatory Council of Nigeria, working with all the sectoral bodies in aligning as a common front, right, what we believe are in the best interest of our industry, right, in terms of regulations, in terms of innovation, in terms of technology as well. So let me just keep it to those three key areas. But I think there's a long list of achievements in that period. Let me also mention that in that period we made significant contributions also to different initiatives, even which are outside of our core function of media planning and buying. So, for example, the GDP multiplier, determining what it is for Nigerian economy and for Nigeria contribution to the economy, positioning ourselves, to be able to, to have our voice and to influence policies and to speak in the area of policy formulations and what we help our industry to grow much, much further. We also had initiatives that were aimed at pulling the industry together. For example, the President's Dinner, which we started, and this has become an annual event on the calendar of CEOs of multinational small-sized businesses, as well as agencies and key stakeholders, from government, states and national level. So again, let me just stop there, but I do believe that we made significant contributions in that time.
Great. So in light of all those significant contributions that you have highlighted, were there challenges you faced during your tenure?
Absolutely.
And how did you face them? How did you combat those challenges?
We have challenges. I mean, the truth is that for you to drive or to innovate, right, or to make change, positive change, that will always be, you must be ready for the challenges. I think one area where we had a bit of challenge is the area of regulation, because obviously we're representing various interests in our job. Primary stakeholder are clients whose interests are very critical, topical for us in town, right? So there are changes in the advertising regulation, changes in even the way marketing or advertising is defined, changes in terms of what you can do and cannot do on social media, for example. And this is at a different level, right? And there are even today there are even upcoming regulations in the in NAFDAC, for example, in the food and drugs category. So it's endless, it's continuous, and we just need to be ready to face them. The way we do that is we believe in continuous engagement of the leadership of the government leaders when it comes to regulation. So, for example, the DGs, the ministers at this level. What is critical is trying to explain why, our point of view, our perspectives, and the bigger picture in terms of the value and the impact that this might have on businesses, not just our profession, but even in terms of the work of our clients. But the approach has always been dialogue. Our approach is to sit down, to analyze, and to show the numbers, and to prove ourselves in terms of this real value and these implications in terms of numbers of what these regulations are. And there's also the part around the profession, right? So, for example, when you can put number to creativity and innovation. So, for example, technology and use of AI, and what does the regulation say in terms of use of AI, in terms of, system-generated images, in terms of use of local models versus foreign models. So it is not always commercial conversation. Sometimes it's also about business ethics, about being professional. It's also about, and then you need to balance this with national interest as well, because as regulators, their views and perspectives usually is related to national interest. Need to, so that argument is in that area. But for us also is about how do you allow businesses to thrive and grow without stifling creativity and innovation, speed to market, and all of that.
Great. So talking about interest now, how were you able to balance the needs and interests of different member groups and stakeholders? How were you able to balance that?
It's really interesting. I had the unique privilege of being the HSG chairman, the chairman of the Heads of Advertising sectoral groups.
Okay.
I think that platform is a very unique one because it pulls together the key sectors, and of course the advertiser as being a very important voice in that meeting as well, or on that platform as well. I think the unique opportunity is that everybody's views and perspectives can then be put on the table. But for success to achieve, we then need to then trade off, because sometimes the interest of the agency or let me say, for example, the interest of a member agency, right, or a sector might be different from the other. So, but how do we then trade off so that we can embrace the common areas of win, or areas that are in the collective interest or deliver a bigger value? Right, and making sure that we don't all fight ourselves and end up with a zero-sum game. So it's in dialogue and understanding that we all need to give and trade, and put ourselves in others' shoes as we come together to make collective decisions going forward.
Marketing Edge on TV, promoting the bright idea.
And that's much we can take on this week's episode of Marketing Edge on TV. Join us same time next week for the concluding part of our conversation with Dr. FEMI ADELUSI. I am Oluwabukola Omoniyi. Bye for now.
Good morning, Marina Station and all the passengers. Efficient, it's comfortable.
This development will go a long way in reducing congestion and emission.
The trains are a long-term solution to Lagos traffic challenges.
This is where we take the final, decisions on policies, programs of government. I will have to ensure that, the narration of Lagos as a PLC is taken very, very seriously.
This is a major pedestrian bridge linking Oyinbo here to Apapa Road over there.
With this overpass, we are providing what we call a permanent solution.
This place is one of the most dangerous areas at the biosecurity environment.
This can go into the news and every crimes of your neighborhood.
Our goal is to remain as Africa's model megacity, to move our GDP from the 5-6 position to the 3rd position, and we believe is achievable with all the commitments we have.
Explore the city of Lagos, where dreams are made and possibilities are endless. Amadedoja Salamadeniyi. I live in Lagos, inside Lagos.